Hello, everyone. Happy Republic Day to all Indians. It's a very proud thing to be an Indian with India's rich heritage and culture, tradition. And I'm sure every Indian is proud of all those things. And last Republic Day, I had given, if you remember, I had given Sachin Tendulkar on Indian Republic Day. And today I want to give Sachin Tendulkar's partner in crime, who was known as the Prince of Calcutta, who was also known as the Dada, which means elder brother in Bengali, and someone who was one of the most sweetest timers of a cricket ball, and someone who was an absolute magician through the offside. I mean, I remember in 2000 that one day series against South Africa, Hansi Kronia had a packed offside field and he was still finding the gap with ease on the offside. He was just a magician through the offside. And Rahul Dravid even said once that after God, he is the best on offside. And he was also famous for stepping out to spinners and hitting them through four sixes, especially left arm spinners and leg spinners that bowled into him, him being left handed. And he was also the third batsman in the history of cricket to pass 10,000 runs after Sachin Tendulkar ran in Samamul Haq. I'm talking about the courageous Indian captain who gave India a new identity in that time, Sourav Ganguly of Calcutta, West Bengal. He was born 8th July 1972 in Bengal, in Calcutta, obviously. Sorry, Calcutta, West Bengal. And he was just an amazing batsman through the offside. It has to be said again and again. And he has a lot of records with Tendulkar, which I will explain later. And he led India to the 2002 Champions Trophy win and also led India to the finals of the 2003 World Cup, where he scored 465 runs at an average of more than 58 with three centuries as well. In all, he played 113 test matches and he scored 7,212 runs at an average of 42.17, and he scored 16 hundreds in test matches, and his highest was 239. And in one day cricket, he played 311 matches and he scored 11,363 runs at an average of 41.02, and he scored 22 centuries, and his highest was one two for the ages, which is still the highest by an Indian at a World Cup, which was 183 against Sri Lanka at Taunton in the 1999 World Cup, where he had a 318 huge partnership with Rahul Dravid, and that innings contained seven sixes as well. And Sourav Ganguly, I mean, he was such a courageous captain, and he's the one who gave a new identity to the Indian cricket team. Manzoor Ali Khan Patodi is the one who gave the first identity to the Indian team. But after the early 90s, where India were dismal, especially outside India, Sourav Ganguly is the one who gave that courageous new identity to the Indian team. And he also groomed a lot of young players like Yuvraj Singh, Mohammad Kaif, Harbhajan Singh, a lot of Sehwag, all of them came under his captaincy as well. And in 2019, he was also elected as the president of the BCCI, and he comes from the royal family, as everyone knows. One of his nicknames is also Bengal Tiger. And in 2002, that NetWest finals against England, Yuvraj Singh and Mohammad Kaif batted so well after India lost five quick wickets. And chasing in excess of 300, India won the match. And Sourav Ganguly took his t-shirt off and he was having wild celebrations, which was criticized. But he did that because Andrew Flintoff had done the same against India in a one-day match. And Sourav Ganguly, there's a lot of things to say about him. Like I said, he's the third player in international history to pass 10,000 one-day runs. He did have a weakness against short ball, for especially in the beginning, and the South Africans, Australians, English, the England team, and the New Zealand Kiwis, they did exploit that as well. But he did develop into a fuller batsman later. But initially, he had that problem, and his debut was excellent. He made his debut. He was actually in the Indian team in 1991, early 1991, but got dropped. But he came into the team in 1996. Rahul Dravid and Sourav Ganguly had made their debuts in that same series against England, and it was the second Test match that he made his debut in Test cricket at Lords, and he scored 100. and it was only the third time ever that a batsman had scored his debut 100 at Lords. And the next match, the third Test match at Trent Bridge, he again scored 100 against England, so scoring back-to-back hundreds. And Ganguly had announced himself, and yeah, he also was famous for having that big rift with Greg Chappell, the Australian Greg Chappell, who was the Indian coach, and there was a lot of issues between both of them. And Ganguly stood his ground, obviously strong person. Greg Chappell also being a strong person stood his ground, but eventually Greg Chappell resigned from his post. But he did reply well, because in 2007 in Test matches, Ganguly scored 1,106 runs at an average of more than 61. And he was the second top scorer in Tests in that year after South Africa's Jacques Kallis. So Ganguly really proved well in that 2007 year. And Ganguly and Tendulkar was excellent as an opening pair. Obviously, they complemented so well, because Tendulkar obviously was right-handed, very aggressive, and Ganguly was no less aggressive as well. And he was so sweet on the offside; he could hit sixes on the offside. And I'll never forget that 2001 day series against South Africa, where Hansi Cronje had that packed field, and he was still piercing the gap on the offside. And he had the biggest admirer in Sir Geoffrey Boycott, who always used to call him the Prince of Calcutta, and had a special affection for Sourav Ganguly. And Sourav Ganguly also is the captain under which India stopped Australia's 16 Test match winning streak when India beat Australia in that famous Calcutta test, where India had followed on with a 274 run deficit. And Lakshman and Dravid had that wonderful, memorable partnership where VVS Lakshman scored 281 and India turned that test match around. And India won that test match at Calcutta, drawing the series. And the third test also India won. And eventually India won the series 2-1. So India are the ones under Sourav Ganguly who stopped Australia's 16 Test match winning streak when they had that absolutely amazing team, Australia. And Ganguly was a very vibrant person. I mean, he had that vibrant personality, and he always showed his emotions out, something that was lacking from the Indian team in the early 90s or mid 90s, I should say. I mean, that 2002 NetWest finals, obviously, he showed his emotions, removing his t shirt. And Ganguly was just excellent through the offside as well, and he was excellent stepping out to the spinners and hitting them over for sixes. In that Taunton 183, his highest knock, which is a record for the highest score by an Indian in any World Cup. I mean, he had hit a lot of spinners for sixes long on. Especially long on was his main place when he used to hit the spinners. Obviously, on the offside, he could just play the square cut, square drives, cover drive, everything. He was just amazing, like I said before, on the offside. And he has a record with Tendulkar. I mean, Tendulkar and Sourav Ganguly, they have 26 century partnerships between them, which is a world record, and I don't think that probably will be broken. 26 century partnerships between Sachin Tendulkar and Sourav Ganguly. And they have also scored 8,227 runs together, which is also a record. So a lot of records in their names. Their opening partnership was excellent. They were a destructive opening partnership, and both of them were just impossible to bowl to when they were in full flight, because Tendulkar, as everyone knows, was just amazing all round the wicket, and Ganguly was just excellent on the offside, and he could murder anything outside off stump, and he was just excellent against spin as well. So that is what I have to say about Sourav Ganguly, and I'm so really, really happy and proud to give him on India's Republic Day. I was waiting to give him on India's Republic Day. He was such a good leader, a great leader for Indian team, who gave a new identity to the Indian team, who was courageous, and showed other teams that India were not just going to sit back and take anything that other teams were going to give. And he was always vocal, and he was very brave, and he really groomed a lot of youngsters. I have to say again, Yuvraj Singh, Kaif, Harbhajan Sehwag, a lot of youngsters, and Ganguly was just an amazing leader. So that is my video on Sourav Ganguly, the Prince of Calcutta. called Dada and also Bengal Tiger. And just want to say thank you so much to Sourav Ganguly for everything you have done for Indian cricket, for bringing a new identity to the Indian team, which still prevails, and for being an absolute magician through the offside, and for giving a lot of great memories for a lot of people all around the world. Thank you so much to Saurav Ganguly again. And thank you, everyone. Take care and enjoy the rest of your Republic Day. God bless you.